How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to Rangers Rundown. Let's talk about what is most definitely the Rangers' most complete game of the season so far. They really came into their own and they showed us what this team is capable of when everybody's on the same page and everything goes right. I'm looking forward to more games this season that look like this. Reeves is out with a lower body injury. So he was not in the lineup tonight, but the lineup tonight was Kreider, Zibanejad, and Gaudreau started on the top line tonight. That wouldn't last. Panarin, Strome, and Kakko finally reunited on that second line. Kakko was back in the lineup. Lafreniere, Chytil, and Blais on that third line. And then Rooney, McKegg, and Hunt on the fourth line. Defense was the same. Lindgren, Fox, Miller, Trouba, Nemeth, Lundqvist, and Shesterkin was in net. And he had a pretty good night. In the first period, Shesterkin had a good save in the first minute, and then another good save on a bouncing puck about 2.5 minutes into that first period. So Shesterkin right off the bat showing us he is ready for this game. 3:05, there's a flurry of shots from the Rangers and almost scored a goal. Almost. It was one of those half jumpers out of your seat. 4 minutes in, Rooney made a good move for a shot. The fourth line played really well tonight. A couple of fourth line shifts tonight, they were generating some offense. So it's good to see the Rangers forward group kind of rounding out in that bottom six. 6 minutes in, Kakko drives to the net. So he had a pretty good game on his first game back after missing the past 4. And then shortly after, Chytil has a chance. He came out from behind the net, tried to stuff it in, wouldn't go in though. Great pace to the game, probably 7 or 8 minutes in. Great pace from both teams. Both teams generating offense, but, the ice was tilted in the Rangers' favor pretty much the entire time. Hunt has a good shot almost halfway through the period. And then halfway through the period, Columbus is actually out shooting the Rangers 9-7, both goalies standing pretty tall. And then at 12:29, Strome would score his first goal of the season, and Lundqvist would get his first point in the NHL. He would have an assist on that Strome goal, so congratulations to Lundqvist. Still looking for that first goal, but at least he has his first point now. He can kind of relax a little bit and continue to develop into this season. And then 3 minutes later, at 15:31, Lafreniere would score his third goal of the season. I believe it's his third goal. Fox takes the puck around the net and just makes a completely, only Adam Fox could make this pass, cross crease to Lafreniere, puts it in the back of the net. It was just Adam Fox. I believe he had a 3 assist tonight, as well as Panarin. So Fox just picking up right where he left off last year, which we need him to do for the rest of the season. We see how competitive this Metropolitan Division in Carolina being one of the last unbeaten teams in the NHL. Chytil went to the locker room shortly after that Lafreniere goal. He would come back later in the game, but he did go to the locker room for a little bit of maintenance. And then at 18:57, Hoffman would take a slashing penalty. The Rangers' power play before tonight was 3 for 26, which was 28th in the NHL. Their power play has been abysmal so far this season, but tonight they would go 2 for 3. So increasing their power play stats a little bit. Hopefully this is the start of a positive trend. 2 first period goals. They double their total for first period goals in the entire season. Before tonight, the Rangers had only scored twice in the first period. They just doubled that total tonight in this one game. So Rangers learning slowly but surely how to start games this year. This was their most complete game, start to finish, because they were able to actually play a decent first period, which is not consistent yet. Second period, Rangers start with a 57-second power play. Wouldn't amount to anything. First 3 minutes, not much set up by either team. Both teams trying to get back to where they were in the first period. Columbus trying to push a little harder. Rangers getting their feet back. 4:18, Lafreniere had a pretty good shot. He played well tonight. 6 minutes in, Shesterkin had a very good save and then tried for the long outlet pass to the other blue line. This is like the 4th or 5th time he's just taken the puck and tried to pass it 2/3 of the way up the ice to try and start something. He is not afraid to handle the puck, and he's pretty good at it, so do it. Because one of these nights, Shesterkin's going to get an assist because of one of these plays, and I'm looking forward to that. 7:04, Kreider would take an interference penalty. Pretty unnecessary penalty. He just bowls over a guy that doesn't have the puck. Kreider's going to take a couple penalties like that. He gets a little hot-headed. But the Rangers penalty before tonight, 15 for 16 in the last 5 games. And then after they kill off that penalty, they would be 16 for 17. They would kill off, I believe, one more penalty. So they didn't let in a power play goal tonight, so the penalty kill's still really, really hot. Shesterkin had a great save during that penalty kill, and Nemeth had 3 blocks during that penalty kill, which he got some pats on the back from his teammates and the coaches for that. Halfway through, shots are 5-4 in favor of Columbus. So again, Columbus outshooting the Rangers, even though the ice is tilted in the Rangers' favor. Rangers had about 45 seconds of good pressure about halfway through the period. Fourth line has a really good shift in this period. 15:22, Lafreniere and Hedl had a 2-on-2, 2-on-1-ish sort of exchange going the other way, but Lafreniere would miss the net. And then at the end of the period, 19:20, Roslovic would take a hooking penalty. By the end of the period, the Rangers ended up outshooting Columbus 14-7. So halfway through, Columbus was outshooting them 5-4. Through the rest of the period, Columbus would only have 2 shots, while the Rangers would rack up another 10. So about halfway through this game, the Rangers just kick it into overdrive and just fly through the rest of the game. Only the second time this season the Rangers took a lead into the third period, and now they are 2-0 when that happens. So when the Rangers take a lead into the third period, they won both times. So that's a good sign of things to come, hopefully. We get into the third period. Rangers start again. They start a period with a power play, 1:20 seconds. 12 seconds in, Zibanejad had a very good chance. Strome had an open net and fanned on the shot. He either fanned on the shot or it was tipped by one of the Columbus players. It looked like he fanned on it, which for Strome isn't surprising. He missed a couple open nets last year as well. It's kind of becoming what he's known for. But at 1:19 of this third period, during this power play, Kreider would score a power play goal to put the Rangers up 3-0. This is his 4th goal, or his 4th power play goal of the season, I should say. Rangers have 4 power play goals. Kreider scored all 4. Later in the period, that would go to 5. It was a deflection, of course. Kreider's one of the best in the league at those deflection goals. 3.5 minutes in, 2 good saves by Shesterkin. He really stood on his head at times this period, or this game, I should say. Shortly after, good sustained pressure by the Rangers. 5:14, Fox took his first penalty of the season. He does not take a lot of penalties. He is a very, very responsible two-way defenseman. First penalty of the season, though, a high sticking call. He tried to get his stick around a player, ended up whacking him in the head. Good block by Lindgren during that penalty kill, and a good save by Shesterkin as well. 9:42, Strome and Domi take offsetting roughing penalties. Strome and Bjorkstrand had an exchange at the blue line. They kind of were whacking each other a little bit, letting each other know they were there. Domi didn't like that. His team's losing 3-0. He gets a little hot-headed. He confronts Strome, kind of hits him in the jaw a little bit. Strome doesn't like that, so no gloves were dropped, so it doesn't count as a fight, but they get offsetting roughing penalties. And then 12 seconds later, Bean would take a hooking penalty, putting the Rangers on a 4-on-3 power play. Kreider and Merzlikins exchange words of, I'm sure, compliments and kindness during this 4-on-3. Merzlikins had been chopping at Kreider's legs all night. Whenever Kreider was in front of him, Merzlikins would give him a little chop on the legs, so I'm sure Merzlikins said something, and Kreider just turned around, gave it right back to him. Rangers take a timeout during that 4-on-3 just to give their top power play a rest. They wanted to keep the top power play out there for the entire 4-on-3, and sure enough, it works. 11:23, Kreider would score his 2nd power play goal of the night, his 5th of the season. Again, a deflection goal. As soon as it went in, he turned around and he was yelling something at Merzlikins, like nana nana boo boo kind of stuff. Fox and Panarin, after this goal, they both have 3 assists on the night. So Fox and Panarin showing how good they are at setting up plays, helping plays along, creating those offensive chances. And this is the first time this season the Rangers have scored 4 goals. They've scored 3 goals twice, but this is the first time they've scored 4 goals. So looking forward to more games like this, because this was the most exciting game of the season so far. You know, this is the Rangers' 5th win of the season, and I would say this is the most exciting win. 16:29, Gaudreau would take a high sticking penalty. It was a delayed call, so once the penalty was actually called, Domi challenges Miller a little bit of a size difference. I don't know what Domi was thinking. Kind of punches him right in the chest shoulder just to try and start something. Domi's obviously very upset that his team is getting shellacked. Kakko had a shorthanded chance during that power play, or the penalty kill. Obviously didn't go in. And Igor Shesterkin would get his 3rd NHL shutout and his 1st of the season, first of hopefully many more to come. But he gets his 3rd shutout of his NHL career. A fantastic performance by him. And the team wins go up to, they go to 5-2-1. I'm sure they'll move up the standings after tonight. Shots 37-31 in favor of the Rangers. 40.4% of the faceoffs won by them. Power play went 2 for 3. Hits 26-11 in favor of the Rangers. The Rangers had possession more than Columbus, so you would assume that Columbus would have more hits, but Rangers were just knocking them down. Blocks also in favor of the Rangers, 16-13. Rangers just controlled the game pretty much the entire time. Columbus really didn't have a chance. They really didn't. And if you're a Columbus fan, I'm sure that you're very frustrated by tonight, because this was the kind of game where the Rangers have seen the Columbus side of it. They've been on that side of the ice before, and it's awful to watch. I'm sure it's awful to play, but this time the Rangers were on the good side of it. The trivia question tonight: who was the last Rangers player that was born in New York City? Because the Columbus Blue Jackets have 2 players on their roster currently that were born in Columbus, Ohio. So we ask of the Rangers, who was the last Rangers player that was born in New York City? I obviously didn't know the answer. I probably never will to these questions, but I'll give you a second. Never heard of this player before. Apparently it's Matthew Schneider. So there you go. The Rangers are back in action Sunday at 9 p.m. It's their first game against the Seattle Kraken in Seattle. Not sure if I will be watching the entire game, as it is a work night and I do get up early for work, but if I don't watch it Sunday night, I will make sure to record it, watch it Monday, and get the video up just so I can keep this channel consistent. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more videos like it, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next rundown.